Hey everyone, today we're diving into a wild and tense story packed with crazy twists. Anyone with a big enough wallet could snatch up his research. But according to Ray, this guy has been selling all sorts of patents. It's the first time I've heard he's personally involved. Rumor has it, his research can wipe out thousands in an instant. Sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. Mira and her partner hit the hospital, and the doctor revealed all subway victims shared one thing in common: face artery explosions. It sounds like a monster from Doctor Who. Cuz syndrome is such a rare beast that it causes veins and arteries to harden and suffocate. Even more awkward, this bio attack hits hard in just 2 minutes. It's truly terrifying. Right now, there's only one possible explanation. Derek extracted Cuz syndrome and blew it up into a super weapon, but the virus is a pain to preserve and needs radioactive isotopes to keep it in check. To crack this case, we need to start here. Ray's heard of 490 as well. Only a handful of folks can get their hands on it, but one's caught and the other's facing the music. Now, there's just Derek's old supplier left, but he's based in Cuba and the FBI can't touch that turf. Ray has no choice but to spring back into action. If word gets out, the underworld will be flabbergasted, the black market boss risking it all for a lady agent. Meanwhile, things aren't looking great for the FBI. Ray and Mira head to Derek's ex-wife's place, hoping to sniff out some clues. They spotted a boy who has the rare Cuz syndrome, which made them raise their eyebrows. Ray asked his ex-wife. The boy had Cuz syndrome for 5 years. The husband went bankrupt and divorced. What followed? No one knows. Ray thought maybe the kid's illness drove Derek mad, leading to his viral revenge plan. Now, he could only pin his hopes on Ray. Ray flew to Cuba to meet with the supplier and got straight to the point. He needed 12 kilos of the deadliest stuff around. But the guy said that's a big order for next week. He already has a buyer lined up. Ray offered him a win-win solution. Contact your buyer and tell him to pass me some of that order, he'll pay double. Plus, I'll get a nice kickback. All the while, he secretly slipped a listening device. We're all in it for the cash, right? Ray knew the supplier would bite, and sure enough, he contacted the buyer. In no time, the buyer's location was tracked down. Surely this is Derek's hideout, so he quickly informed Ray. Derek lied through his teeth, claiming to be a juror, casually placing his box under a seat, and just as he was about to pull out his ID, the jerk locked the door. Donald raced to the court, but Derek triggered a secret alarm. The judge declared an emergency meeting, and everyone evacuated too late. Smoke billowed out of the box, alarms blared, and people felt ill. Donald reached the locked door, hearing desperate cries within. He hesitated, not wanting to make it worse if the virus spread. Finally, the fire department arrived, and he donned a gas mask. He quickly evacuated the building, and when he opened the door, he was stunned. A girl was there, miraculously alive. She looked fine, but Derek was about to bolt from the building when he got recognized by Ray. Derek had no choice but to grab a security guard. Knowing this place was a hot mess, he fired a shot to create chaos and slipped away. The only bright side? That surviving girl. The doctor looked incredulously, ensuring she was fine before leaving the room. Just then, a nurse appeared, finding Derek hiding, and he claimed to be changing the girl's sample. Next thing you know, she was out cold. It seems like he was planning to extract something from her. Meanwhile, Ray got scolded by the boss for letting Derek escape with the hostage. But Ray couldn't just watch the hostage get hurt. Morally, he was cool, but in the FBI, that's practically a crime. Ray was fuming, and after receiving a call saying Derek got away, he hung up in a huff. He couldn't believe how weak the FBI was. He called back and admitted it was his bad. He let Derek slip away. Hearing it was Ray's fault, he sobered up quick, telling him if he wants to catch Derek, keep an eye on the survivor. If I were Derek and my bioweapon had the survivor, I'd definitely want to check it out. An epiphany hit Ray, and he rushed to the hospital with Mira, but they were too late. The girl was already getting a bone marrow biopsy, but she was fine. Derek wasn't just randomly killing, he was experimenting to find someone immune to Cuz syndrome, aiming to extract genes for an antidote to save his kid. Subtitles. Ray promptly made a call to Derek's ex-wife, instructing her to take the child to the closest police station. Derek said to calm down, claiming he only wanted to save the son. His ex retorted, "Your son's life matters. What about the innocents of Subway and court?" To save his son, Derek ignored all else. His ex, sensing trouble, tried to flee but fell. The boy came running over, looking at his dad with a hint of fear. He took off upstairs but had no chance against his father. Just before he reached the window, Dad had him caught. Derek had no choice but to knock him out. Ray and Mira arrived at Derek's place like the cavalry charging up the stairs after seeing the scene in the living room. Derek explains, "I'm saving my son here." Ray snapped back, "Stop it right now. You've not tested this, and if it fails, it could cause irreversible damage to the boy." But Derek wouldn't listen, convinced his antidote was foolproof. And then he got shot on the spot. And that's where our story ends. Ray flew back from Cuba and even brought Ray some souvenirs. He said a father's feelings are understandable, but as an agent, Ray had no choice. Derek was totally wrong. Let's be real, if Ray were in trouble, he'd probably go as far as Derek. In a way, they are cut from the same cloth. Ray kept quiet, just watching Ray intently. The next day, he splurged on an old house. And when the dust settled, don't forget to subscribe.